rocking the red carpet or doing interviews. You'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. I am very excited about my guest. Today we have him calling in from Zoom, and it's going to be a fun show. He's an amazing author. I have Mr. Tim Weller with me. So everybody, welcome Tim to the show. So hi, Tim. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How the heck are you?
I am good. I am busy and I'm tired, but I'm good. So I can't complain. But I know you're the same. Yeah, no, I think you're amazing. I'm so excited to have you on and to talk about your books. So yeah, it's going to be a fun show. So why don't we get right into it? Why don't you tell people a little bit about your background and how you became an author?
Well, I'm a former U.S. Marine.
Thank you for your service.
I'm currently disabled, but after a few years out of the Marine Corps, I had a couple stories inside of me whispering to come out. So I started writing them, and as you probably know, once you start writing, the characters take on a life of their own, and you just sit by and act like a court stenographer and write down what they do. They have lives of their own, and I'm very proud of the two love stories I wrote. They're both on Amazon. I'm not urging people to buy them. I would just like you to take a look at them. They're entitled The Unfinished Kiss, which is basically a 250-page love story to my lovely wife. And the other novel is Always Faithful. And my hope is that they both, one or both of them, can be translated to film.
Absolutely. No, well, you might not urge people to read them, but I certainly will. I urge people to buy them and read them for sure. So I want to talk about The Unfinished Kiss. So you said that was to your wife. Was that based on your love story, or how did that story come about?
Oh, that's a great question. It's largely based on our meeting, going through the ups and downs of dating, and we've been married for 36 years, so I must be doing something right.
That's awesome. No, I love, and I'm so excited to read these, and I think that's beautiful that it's basically based off of your real life love story with your wife, and that you have this beautiful, healthy, long-lasting marriage is amazing.
Yeah, it's I grew up in a household with a single mother, no father influence, so I'm very pleased with. I don't want to sound immodest. I'm rather pleased with the journey I've made in my life.
Yeah.
Of course, I've tripped and stumbled my share of times, but overall, I've done okay.
Absolutely. And can you tell people, I know obviously no spoilers or anything, but can you give people like a brief little information about what that book's about?
Well, The Unfinished Kiss is I don't want to spoil it, but it does have a few twists and turns, and Always Faithful is the story of I borrowed from my Marine background and built upon it. It has to do with a Marine whose best friend gets him to promise that if he doesn't survive to deliver a love letter to his fiancée. Well, he does not survive, but as he's dying, he reminds the main character don't forget the promise you made to contact, her name is Debbie. Well, the main character gets out of the Marine Corps, tries to contact her, she hangs up on him. He writes her a letter, she returns the letter. He comes to find out that she blames the Marine Corps for the death of her loved one, and the main character, Michael, is the face of the Marine Corps, so she has nobody to blame but him. And finally, he says, in always faithful, semper fi is very important to Marines. So he says, well, I made a promise. I'm going to go knock on her door. If she doesn't want to see me, she's going to have to slam that door in my face. Well, he knocks on the door. Debbie's mother answers the door and says, oh, we're so glad to see you. And he thinks, so glad to see me. She hung up on me. She wouldn't answer my letters. I'm confused. What do you mean you're so glad to see me? And the mother explains the reluctance of Debbie to speak to him, and she invites him in for dinner. One thing leads to another. He falls for Debbie, and the novel really takes off from there.
That's awesome. They both sound beautiful. I'm very excited to read both of them.
Oh, thank you.
And
they're both, I don't want to give anything away, but they're both happy ending love stories.
Well, that's the only kind we got to do, right? we don't want the sad ones. We want to have beautiful, happy endings.
Yeah.
And do you have, out of those two, do you have a preference? Like, which one's your favorite?
That I've wrestled with that, and I knew at some point I was going to be asked that question by somebody. I'm going to go with The Unfinished Kiss because it's largely a love letter to my wife. It hits closer to home.
Yeah. No, I think that's beautiful, and I think it's so cool that you love your wife so much, and that you wrote this book with your love story in mind. And how long is like your writing process from start to finish? Like when you get the idea to finish it.
I had the longest thing I had ever written prior to these two novels was a shopping list. So I was unprepared for how long the writing process takes. And I would say each one took me about 5 years.
Wow.
And part of the reason for that, I would write a chapter acknowledging to myself that was a rough draft, and I would read it and read it and read it, constantly sanding it down until I got it as smooth as I wanted it to be, and then I would write the next chapter.
I gotcha. Yeah, it's a crazy amount of work. I don't think I could ever be an author, but I think that really shows your dedication to it, and I think that's awesome. And it turned out to be two wonderful books.
Oh, thank you. I must say I'm very proud of them, if I could be modest.
You should be. No, and the fact that you go, like you said, basically to no writing experience at all to two books is an amazing feat. And I can't even imagine what made you decide like to actually go forth with writing the books, because that's a big step. And I think a lot of people have all these ideas and stuff and wanting to do it, but to actually take the lead and do it is a whole nother story than just imagining it. So what made you actually decide to take the final step to do it?
Well, I believe that everybody has at least one book living inside of them. We've all had ups and downs in life, the successes, maybe some less than successful endeavors. But I suspect almost everybody, if not everybody, has a book living inside of them. And these two love stories were, I love love stories. They're romance novels. and the two concepts would whisper to me, "Let me out of here." So I just figured I'm going to put them on virtual paper and see where it goes.
Yeah, and there you go. And then you did it. And
Yeah.
like you said, it might have taken 5 years, but you did it, and that is a huge feat. And so impressive. Did the time frames overlap with writing them, or was it just like focusing on one at a time?
One at a time. Yeah. I'm a former Marine, so you know what they say. You can always tell a Marine. You can't tell them much, but you can always tell a Marine. Well, mine, my mind is not that complex that I could have juggled two stories. I just ran with one and took a break and then put the other one to paper.
Well, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. I think you're a very, very capable man, but I know what you mean. But that's incredible that you did it. It's major, major thing. I can't even do one. So you're far better than me.
Oh,
Are you?
thank you.
Are you working on any other, or do you have any ideas? Or are you kind of fine for right now?
I'm because of my disability. My wife is home and my adult son, my 25-year-old wonderful son, as caregivers. I'm disabled from the waist down, and I'm just blessed to have them home all day, and I just savor their company, and other than reading Ann Landers in the comics, I don't really read much else.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited you got these out though. That's incredible. And where can people buy your books? Is it like through Amazon? Do you have your own website?
I don't have a website, but they are on Amazon.
Okay.
Tim Weller, Weller, The Unfinished Kiss, and Always Faithful.
And I know they have excellent reviews too. The people that read them love them.
Yeah, I must. I wrote them for my audience. No ego or vanity. I wrote them for the audience, and I hope they like them. I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and as I mentioned to my readers a couple times, if you read the book the next time you're in Fredericksburg, I'll buy you lunch.
That's awesome. Well, I'll have to make my way down there soon.
It's a wonderful town, and a lot of good lunch choices. We'll have a good time.
No, absolutely. And same thing, if you're ever in Vegas, we'd absolutely love to have you here in the studio.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you very much for that invitation.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for being on, Tim. And so everyone can just basically Google your name in your books and they'll pop up. And like I said, they have amazing reviews so people can look at all the reviews. But you're not going to urge people to buy them, but I will absolutely urge people to buy them. So please go buy them and support.
Yeah, I just ask people, they have a synopsis of them on Amazon. All I ask is, hey, take a look. If you like what you see, that's wonderful. If you don't like what you see, that's wonderful too. But please just take a look.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everyone will love it. And thank you so much for being on, and thank you for your service. And I'm excited to read it. And hopefully we'll see you soon.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tim. You too. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please go check out the books and support. I know you'll love them. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve.